சுபமுகூர்த்த பட்டுகளின் சங்கமம் விவாஹா தி சென்னை சில்க்ஸ்.
JEPPIAAR College of Arts and Science. Admissions open for 2020-21. Courses offered BCom, BA, BSc and BBL.
Feeling lucky that I'm alive, feeling lucky that I can continue to do interesting work. When I was at the drama school, National School of Drama, I remember having seen Agni Nakshatram there. Now I'm beginning my career in Tamil. Met Dharani, I met Vikram, and then we started that film. And is there a Saidapet? There's that slum there, right under the bridge. We were shooting there. A family walked up with a small child, and they bring the child to Vikram. Can you bless him? And Vikram put his hand over the child's head. Eyes were filled with hope and love. Bhagwati, I remember there was a sequence when he made me say, "Hey!" Wonderful working with Vijay. I was absolutely quiet always, but reassuringly there. Wrong number illada, wrong number girl. And he says, Ippo Ramasamy. When kind of, and he, they told me, Ippo Ramasamy. Now,
Behindwoods Personals with தாரால இன்னைக்கு என் கூட ஒரு versatile personality தான் இருக்காரு. None other than Ashish Vidhyarthi sir. Sir, vanakkam and welcome to my show, sir.
Vanakkam. And wonderful to be here with you, Tara. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir.
To begin with, you've seen lots and lots of success. You've been part of many films in many languages. And you've taken up many roles, be it positive, negative, supporting role, what not. So, how are you feeling, sir? How are you feeling now?
Feeling blessed. Feeling lucky that I'm alive. Feeling lucky that I can continue to do interesting work. That's a feeling which has always been there with me, Tara. Whenever I don't feel blessed, I feel very upset. So, as an actor, when you start recognizing and when you can start owning all the phases, not saying that this is not my phase, that's my phase. We understand that in life, all the phases are our phases. So we have to own it and be grateful for life. And then, so I'm feeling great at this moment. Thank you so much.
And as I told you, you've been part of many great films. You've won many awards and recognitions, achievements. Everything was there. And you still continue to search something, or you are happy with whatever happened in your life, because your achievements are really great.
Very probing question, Tara. Yes, we all are in search of things. Okay, and that is why, one reason that we are alive, we continuously want to play some bigger game, some interesting game. For me personally, interesting is something which really draws me. Okay, I like to do things that interest me. I don't like boring things. All right. And so whatever that I'm doing, after a little while, it becomes like this. So I have to try something else. And going into new territories is also very dangerous. It is also, it looks very menacing. It feels scary. You can go into new territories, go out of your comfort zone. Okay, where you are used to. I'm comfortable here. That's the time to come out. So it is interesting when you can ongoingly come out of your comfort zone. Not like once, not like twice, but every day.
Every time.
That's like amazing. Supra.
And coming back to Dhill, that was a second first time, I should say that, I guess, because you are already you already established yourself in Hindi. So coming from Hindi to Tamil, how was the response here, and what was your mindset?
When I was at the drama school, National School of Drama, and my dear friend Manoharan, he was the sound recordist at the National School of Drama. He's from the Odia school. So I used to go to his house and watch Tamil cinema. So he's the person who got me introduced to Tamil films, through the VCR. Okay. And I remember having seen Agni Nakshatram there. I remember having seen so many films, and they were all film buffs. And I would sit alive, awake with them, watching that film. And I said that if only I could do such films, if I could do such roles, but they were very far away. Remember, I was doing theater. Around 89, when I started looking, I said, look, I wanted something more to do. I was getting a particular kind of roles Hindi. And I said I wanted to spread out. I was very upset with the kind of roles that I was doing. And I said, I have to do something interesting. So I flew down to Chennai along with my manager. And I went down to quite a few, producers' place. And would you believe it? I signed 7 films. I signed 7 films in 2 days. I came back to Bombay that now I'm beginning my career in Tamil. And over the next 6 months, I discovered none of the films I was called for. So I was signed that way. Ashish, you're doing it. Nothing happened. Then by chance, I remember I was on the bike that day. And suddenly I get this call from Mr. T. Ramarao. And he calls me to his office cum residence. It was called Movie Tower in Lokhandwala. And he was amazingly frank with me. I will never, ever forget his conversation. He called me, he said, Ashish, how are you? I said, sir, very good. He said, look, I have called you for a Tamil film because T. Ramarao sir used to also make Hindi films. He said, I'm calling you for a Tamil film. I said, wow, sure, please tell me. He said, listen, I don't want you, but there's this mad director of mine. He says he wants you. His name is, that time his name was Ramani. And he says he wants you for that film. And that film was Dhill. I came down to Chennai, Madras that time. And, I met people. I met Dharani. I met Vikram. And then we started that film. And I'll never, ever forget. And for me, that's the magic of life, Tara. And I really enjoyed it. I made some amazing friendships that time. I met Vikram and his family, and it was a wonderful time. I was filled with love. I was filled with the passion that Tamil cinema brings. This is not just a place where they make films just to make money. This is a place where films are made with passion. And, that passion, that's what really draws me to cinema in any case. I'll tell you another very, very interesting episode. I don't even know if a Vikram remembers. And of course, Vikram would have done it so many times. But is there a Saidapet? There's that slum there, right under the bridge. There's a slum there. Okay, we were shooting there. It was a place which had there was smell and there was water, and we were shooting there. And suddenly, a family walked up, okay, with a small child, and I'm noticing it, okay, and they bring the child to Vikram and say, "Can you bless him?" And Vikram put his hand over the child's head and just gave a name. All right, and I'm just looking, and the eyes were filled with hope and love. Now, that was my beginning of my career. Now, as I progressed, as I saw through the years, I've experienced that love that people have. The people give to, actors, and they give to directors.
I would like to pick few characters, and I wanted to know, how did you prepare for the character? How you got into the character, and things happened while shooting shooting a scene, or any memories that comes to your mind immediately.
I remember one. Can I give you one example? I did a very interesting one called Edumalai with Arjun, and there was a sequence. If you remember, remember that thing came here.
Yeah,
and that time no CG, so it has really to come. And Arjun is such an extraordinary human being. He's, I just have such love and respect for him. And he really took care. We did a few very interesting films together, not just in Tamil, but also in Kannada. And again, I met such an amazing human being. I've been to his house, eaten at his house, and went to his farm also. And he was, at that point, making a temple also, if I recall. Each film has been associated with some amazing people that I met during that period. That has added to my quality of life. I'll share another I went down to Palani. I'm just trying to think. Was it Uttam Putram we were shooting there? Yeah.
Uttam Putran, that was another great performance, sir.
Yeah, was that in Palani I was shooting? And it was really hot. And I written that in one of my blogs also. And one thing that I remember is that, but on that entire route, as we would drive to the airport, I remember there used to be maybe hundreds of those windmills. And, I've taken photographs of that. It is there in my blog. And there are memories, you're traveling from one set to another set. There are memories of the set. And I remember I'm trying to recall the name of that lady, that amazing lady. And she sang that song. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Na-re-re-poo, na-re-re. So, for me, roles are very interesting, Tara, but memories.
Yes, so as you started with Uttam Putran, I'll also get to that character. That's one of your some different kind of performance, I guess, as a village person. You're not completely a villain, and you're such an innocent person in that film. So how was the preparation, and any unforgettable incident happened during the shoot?
That was my film I was doing with Dhanush, and there was lot of support, because I would, you see, when you're trying to get a nativity character, and since you do not belong to there, so that also comes very interestingly to me, since I do not belong any place. I remember somebody just teaching me, how do you do that, so there's these small nuances which you build into a character. I remember we were doing Bhagwati. Do you remember the director's name of Bhagwati? Tell me.
Sri Venkatesh, sir.
My dear friend Venkatesh. So I've done 3 films with him. And Venkatesh had this habit, it's where it became wonderful acting also that. So Venkatesh had this habit. He kind of, in Bhagwati, I remember there was a sequence when he made me say, hey. All right. How that happened? So he said, I did. Sorry, you do, yay. I said, all right, yay. I did that. After that, some 2 or 3 different film directors made me do yay. No, they're asking me to. I said, okay, I'll say yay. After that, I heard people are saying, writing reviews. What is this Ashish Vidyarthi? All the film does yay. I told them, hey, listen, man, stop making me do it. Just because Venkatesh asked me to do once and it's become a hit. So, you have these stories within stories. You're trying to do different things. You don't know the culture, but you want to know something more about it. And as an actor, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, when you can just say that, all right, tell me, how do you want me to do it? And that happened for me in Gilli. After a long time, I got a role which was not a villain. I was not killing anyone. That ability, and there again, I had some wonderful people to work with, of course. Wonderful working with Vijay. He was absolutely quiet always, but reassuringly there. He understands that you don't understand the language. So, so it's the assurance that people give you, and then you manage to do something. I had a wonderful time working with Janki Sabesh, who played my wife, and scenes get developed, and especially somebody like Dharani, he allows you to improvise, and then you say, no, I want this. Oh, I want this. I wanted this way only. And then you say, okay, Dhani, I'll try this, okay? And so it's that, there's an artistic tension, and then something gets created. When somebody pushes you, I remember in Dhill, that sequence in which, remember when I come to look for him and he takes off his helmet and he puts the helmet on and I just miss him, and I'm sitting in the bike behind him. It was so interesting that we were shooting that scene and I had to speak in Tamil. So I think I had a mobile phone wedged in my ear somewhere. So I'm listening, somebody shouting on my dialogues and I'm kind of speaking my dialogue. And that timing of just I going down, he opens it, and as I come up, all those are being worked out there. All right. And that's the dynamism of acting. The words which are being written are so very important when people, like, for example, Ippo Ramaswamy, that, and he says, Ippo Ramaswamy, when kind of, and they told me, Ippo Ramaswamy. Now, Gopi, he was the executive producer of that film, the production controller, and really took care, how we're managing. So we are one day at, I think we're shooting in Binny Mills. And so I was always early. I love to be before time. They asked me to come at, 8 o'clock or something. I have to reach. And my scene was later. They said, you come by 8. I said, fantastic. So 7:30, easily, I'm like about to sit in the car. And that time I get a call. I said, hello? Sir? Rajni sir, waiting, sir. Those 30 minutes that I'm driving from GRT, I am dying every second of those 35 minutes. I'm telling you, but they told me to come at 8. Rajni sir, waiting, sir. Now, Tara, I can't tell you. See, I have probably died 220 times in my 230 films. But that day, that 35 minutes that I was driving, I don't know how many seconds. Imagine those many times I died. By the time I reached, I'm kind of getting off the car. I just rush in. Gopi's there. I said, Gopi, sir. Good. Yeah, there. Come. I said, Rajni sir waiting. No, your scene is not there. I said, get me that guy who told me Rajni sir waiting. So I called him. I said, what did you tell me? He said, nothing, sir. I said, Rajni sir waiting. I didn't say you are late. So we have this, like it is amazing, some things like that. And we are shooting in Mysore. Rajni sir and all of us, we are shooting. And some students of National School of Drama had come there. And they came and met Rajni sir. And that time there was no selfies. But they all took photographs. They still remember those photographs, remember those moments. When I met Rajni sir, one thing which liberated me, and I want to share that. I've always wanted to be, not be like, just be. As I said, can you be like yourself? And from Rajni sir, I learned that you can be. He was completely unaffected. He still is unaffected by his screen persona. He doesn't care. And that gave me a lot of hope that you can be. You don't need to live up to how people think you look like, or think you should look like, or think you should behave. Can you be yourself? Can you be, if you want to be simple, can you be the way it is? And so that was a huge learning for me in that period.
Sir, can you just try telling that one dialogue alone, sir? Wrong number illada, wrong nanbargal. With the same feel.
Hey, wrong number illada, wrong nanbargal.
One more film of yours is like you again worked with Hari sir, and this time you have Surya sir on board. So
how was it working in Aru?
Yes, Aru was superb. Again, I met Surya for the first time, and we chatted. We used to, again, such a very different human being, and always interested in new ways of telling stories. I still remember the brightness in his eyes, and Hari, of course, is filled with passion. I remember his passion while making Tamil. I remember his passion while making R. So I have, I just, for me, it is not just success or failure. It is the passion which draws me. And while playing that character in Aru. So when you're doing roles, when you're a viewer, you're looking at that role. But as an actor, I love the experience. And then I go and play that role. Again, that experience that's happening around me. And Kuravi was also, many films work, many films don't work, but they are part of your journey. And that's something, Tara, which I tell people. My next film with Amala Paul is releasing, and we're just waiting for the lockdown to end. As a professional actor, as a professional director, as a professional cameraman, as a professional, whatever that your profession is, each day we are wanting to make a hit film. Some of them will become hits. Some of them will not become hits. But still, all of them are part of our life.
And suddenly you have took up something unexpected from you, actually. So you are a motivational speaker now. So how did that happen, and what made you to take up that, sir?
So that happened around 6 years back. When I kind of discovered something interesting. Again, it begins with yourself. I started looking at, I was doing many things, but there was an element of sadness and upset. And you see that around you're also. And I said, how will it be if I can actually start getting connected to something amazing? I was doing a lot of programs that time. And I also got connected to that I love to communicate. Okay, I love to communicate, reach out to people. And I said that how will it be if I can share what I have seen in life? Most of the time we say, I didn't do this, life did this to me. That person did that to me. So everybody else is to blame, and we become victims. And I discovered that I do not like playing the victim for myself. That one life that I have, if I can find ways to celebrate it. So that is what I started doing over the last 6 years through Avid Miner. And we have an interesting website also, avidminer.com. So over the last 6 years, there are, I don't know, more than 200 organizations and sets of, large associations that one has gone and impacted through our work. And during this COVID crisis also, I got that I'm not going to go and talk to people about COVID. I talk to people about what is possible amidst whatever life throws at you. Because when we spread hope, we add light to our life. All right. And when you add light to your life, you want more light around you. And that's the idea. Because anyway, there is one life, right? After we die, it's all going to be over. So let's make this a celebratory one.
So how are you feeling, sir, after taking up this motivational speaker thing?
Extraordinary. So that is another very interesting thing happened. So earlier, when at the airports, people would say, "Hey, sir, one selfie, sir. I've seen this film of yours, that film of yours." Now, apart from that, they will also tell you, "Hey, sir, you came to our organization, you spoke to us. I watched your video. It was very inspiring." And that is so fulfilling. It's so amazingly fulfilling that you get that, yes, somebody liked your performance, that feels great. But somebody is saying that, you made a difference to my family. You made a difference to my career. You made a difference to how I'm looking at life. And nothing can be more fulfilling than making a difference to someone. So I've been very blessed that as an actor, I could reach out and find love with people.
Wonderful. That was so positive. As I have also seen your couple of your videos, and that gives so much of hope, and I guess people are enjoying and they're connecting with you through the motivational speaking thing, and they are also getting something.
Yeah, you can visit my YouTube channel. It's called Ashish Vidyarthi Official. Some interesting videos are there. You may have a look at it there.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. It was pleasure talking to you. So much positive, so much hope, and thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Vanakkam, this is Ashish Vidyarthi. You must take care of yourself. And listen, the Tamil Nadu State Health Department has given us very clear rules, right? We must follow it. Wear the mask, wash your hands, be very careful where you're going. I know that working is important. It is important for all of us. And it is possible to work while taking all precautions. Remember, COVID is there. We need not be afraid if we wear our mask and if we keep washing our hands. All right? Take care. Nandri. Best wishes and keep spreading the good news. Cheers. Lots of love. Bye-bye to all of you. Thank you.
இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்ததுன்னா லைக் பண்ணுங்க. இதே மாதிரி இன்னும் நிறைய வீடியோஸ் பண்றோம். உங்க ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் ஃபேமிலி கூட இந்த வீடியோவை ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க. என்ன தோணுதோ அதை கமெண்ட் செக்ஷன்ல கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க. 52 லட்சம் பேர் எங்க ஃபேமிலியை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ நீங்களும் கண்டிப்பா சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க.
சுப முகூர்த்த பட்டுகளின் சங்கமம் விவாஹா தி சென்னை சில்க்ஸ்.
JEPPIAAR College of Arts and Science. Admissions open for 2020-21. Courses offered BCom, BA, BSc and BBL.